she a nympho. I wanna fuck, baby, let me get your info. Let me know what you wanna get yourself into. Yeah, I know that you got some daddy issues.
How's it going, nerds? My name is Linkwood. In the last episode, we just completed Chapter 1 of Her Lie I Tried to Believe, and now we're going into Chapter 2, a group date? Maybe? Who knows? I don't even know. Anyway, let us continue. 2 years. It took 2 years to see her again. By that time, my majoring was very well underway, as I was starting to be used to the university lifestyle. I was living on my own inside a gloomy one-room apartment for less than a year. I had zero passions and only knew how to do one thing correctly, which is, of course, studying, as if I was the subject of a curse a long time ago. I didn't know why I was so into it. Yeah, I'll probably have a lot of doors opened up for me in the future, but what if I don't want to enter any of them? I had no motivation to climb up the ladder, and surely wouldn't know what to do with all the money being thrown at me. But I guess this type of attitude could attract some people, as if they know talking to you would inevitably boost their own self-esteem. That's how I made my first friend, since, well, have I ever had a friend before? Well, it's not as if I was seeing him as a friend either way. He was most of my classes during high school and took that as an opportunity to start socializing with me during our courses together. I went with the flow, finding my own amusement in his somewhat carefree demeanor. That's when one day, out of nowhere, he decided to invite me to this. I don't remember how it's pronounced. I can't call it a date. A group date, maybe? Fuck it. Anyway, it was this thing where a group of men and women of the same age, and logically of the same number, meet with each other and for almost the first time in an attempt to find love. It's obviously a cheap excuse for trying to find something to empty your load in, but whatever. To the point I was in, it didn't matter all that much. Trying to fuck someone was, most of the men my age, any age really, one of the priorities, even though pretty much inaccessible. I didn't get out of my way and to try and have sex, and that's probably the reason why I had zero sex life. So I accepted. He was kinda odd though. He said to me, "You won't regret it, Tim. I even have a surprise waiting for you." And he would laugh like an imbecile. He was an imbecile, and I only realized what he meant by that when I entered the bar we were meeting at. Wait. There were 7 waiting, 8 with me, 4 boys and girls. I'm not gonna spoil what I'm thinking, but I think I know. 2 of the girls were completely unattractive, fatter with a big chin and a weird hairstyle. The other one was already almost in bed with the big-mouthed guy, so those 3 were unfuckable. It was my first thought upon entering the bar. The second thought wasn't as different as the first one, but still very surprising indeed. It was her. She was there, drinking a beer, casually talking with that other guy, sports-like type. Another one unfuckable. But of course, not for the same reason. I should just get out of here. This is so pitiful, it's not even funny. That's when Mike, my friend, noticed my arrival and forcefully introduced me to the group. "Oh, this is the guy I was talking about. Hey, Tim. Come, don't be shy, we were waiting for you." I almost clicked my tongue out loud and thought otherwise. Maybe that big chin one could be fuckable with a couple of mirrors. Ah, alarm. I sat next to my friend. I tried not to look too much on the right hand of the side of the table. The symmetry irritated me somehow. He said my name out loud and said everyone else's name right after. I don't remember any of them, and seriously, I don't want to use even the most useless part of my brain to store one of them. I still politely greeted everyone until it came to that name. And I could introduce you to Cassandra, but I guess I don't have to, right? I looked at him, annoyed. He's clearly happy to introduce her to me, as though me meeting her again would make me happy, like it's a gift or something. Why the fuck does he even know the fact that we already knew each other? I said, yeah, with a hand scratching my hair and a bit flustered. Likewise, she didn't look my way all that much and only said hi with a voice that could be misunderstood as a whisper. I'm grateful for that, even if I harbored hate for her for the most part of my life, and probably still. The fact that she understood my reluctance to face her was that saved the little composure I had left. So I was able to enjoy my beer while chatting with the group of people around me. It didn't disturb me all that much when she was actually there. It was just that, in the heat of the moment, I didn't know what to think of. I didn't even understand the feeling I had for her anymore. I hated her for so long a time that for me, it was as though she wasn't even human. And the fact that she disappeared completely from my life at one point, my mind only assumed she was dead. So a non-human presumed dead, looking so lively and joyous. It was only natural that I was baffled a bit. Yeah, that's a good reason. She was sexy, no longer cute or beautiful, but sexy. She had a blue shirt which underlined her overly seductive forms, a black skirt that I could see very well due to the table, that I couldn't see very well due to the table. Her hair was loose and ended a bit under her chest. I tried not to look at her, but it was hard when I was surrounded by ugly girls. I still did what I must and tried to hook up with the chin girl in front of me. After an hour and a half, I was at my 4th beer and the first couple decided to finish the night alone. This made things a bit complicated. Now there were me, the fat girl, my friend, the big chin, the sports dude, and whatever, the other girl that I once knew. So it was obviously becoming harder and harder to actually not interact with her. That's when the phone of the girl in front of me, Chin, started vibrating. She became kind of hysterical by I think it was a message that was received on her phone. She said a couple of words to the fat girl seated next to her, and then she took off. The fat girl looked at me a bit awkward and said, "Sorry." Her ex just tested her, so as if it was the most understandable thing in the world. So that ugly chick just dumped me for a guy that probably flushed her a while ago. I was depressed, but not for a departure per se. Obviously, at least the alcohol started to do its work. That's when everything started to turn into the wrong direction. My friend, who was seated on the left of me in front of the fat chick, was now seated on my right. The sports dude who was chatted with that girl was now enjoying his time with the fat chick on the left. That's when I realized that my friend, without notifying me in advance, started a group conversation with her and me. "So, from where do you two know each other?" I was staring at the table, or maybe at the beer in my hand, trying not to look interested. I think she answered him something while giggling, but I don't remember all that much. She too seemed to be drinking quite heavily. "That long? Man, I bet you're glad to be able to meet each other like this. Maybe it's fate, who knows?" He was irritating me. It was so obvious that he was the one who pulled this off. Perhaps they were enmeshed with each other to humiliate me or something. That's when I uttered something that I probably shouldn't have. I don't know why I thought it would be a great idea. Tell me. I looked at him with a bit of defiance. How do you know that she and I knew each other anyway? I looked at his every change in expression. I probably thought he would be confused and able to explain himself properly, but that wasn't it. I was surprised that I didn't know the reason behind it. Come on, man. Everyone in high school probably knew about it. Don't you remember? That nasty girl with her friends who were starting bad rumors about Cass because she just quit school? Fuck. Now I remember. "Oh man, I remember still. You were so ruthless. You walked over to those girls and started insulting the shit out of them about how uneducated they were, how they were wasting their time and had no future. And then you started numbering every achievement Cass ever accomplished. To the prize she won some piano competition, to the national rank she topped with her academic results. And you know, I'm not one to hit a girl or anything, but this one was asking for it. She didn't try to listen one bit and was continuously cutting you off with some bullshit she heard somewhere down the street. How ridiculous." This was when I was still very much on edge from losing what I thought was the only drive in this world. Some bitches were bad-mouthing her about something along the line of prostitution or some stupid shit like that. It was the week after she had quit school, so anything goes, I guess. But then, since they had nothing else more useful to do, they started to say some bullshit about her cheating during exams, or giving sexual bribery to teachers in order to top higher in midterms. That's when I lost my shit, because telling those ridiculous things would insinuate that my rival I always saw as my equal was nothing more than a fake. And this was completely unacceptable. And yes, I would have beaten the shit out of them if it weren't for the teacher meddling with it. "Hey Tim, do you remember what you shouted at her to make her shut up?" Enough! Even if she prostitutes herself or even cheats on the midterms, doesn't change the fact that she's way better than the lots of you. At least she achieved everything she ever set herself out to do. You low-life bitches will never understand the meaning of the term achievement as long as you still live in the world. Do you understand, you worthless piece of shit? I remember it down to the very last syllable. I have no fucking clue why though. He said it out loud. Not nearly as perfect as I remembered it, but it was still surprising hearing it from someone else's mouth. I then instantly noticed her blushing by understanding the meaning of those words. This was bad. This was a misunderstanding. I never said it in order to protect you. I said it because... At that moment, I knew it was a fact that you were head over heels for her, and I found it so tragic you would probably never have the chance to say it to her. So you can understand why, when I met with her out of absolutely nowhere at my part-time job. He points casually towards her. I had to try and arrange something out for the both of you. So, that's why you invited me here tonight? I was then at my 5th beer, and I was not what we would call heavy drinker back then, so I was agitated, alright, just, it was easily concealed by my wasted features, which were naturally more blatant. Yeah man, what else? We're friends, right? You look so down all the time, I think this might cheer you up. You didn't have to. Seriously, you didn't have to, you fucking idiot. She wasn't saying much. She was looking at me my way silently, but I couldn't muster the strength to look at her directly. I wondered why she was so silent while he was saying all those things which were directly related to her. then, oh, that's my girlfriend texting me. Sorry guys, gotta go. My useless friend got himself up in a hurry. What? What do you mean? You have a girlfriend? What was he doing here then? Yeah, tonight was for you, man. He approached me ever so slightly, his breath bringing the stench of warm beer with it, and whispered to my ear, "Enjoy yourself, will ya?" And with this, he disappeared without a trace. Well, not disappeared, but I was intoxicated to the point where the actions my mind perceived around me were still enough that they were made in fast forward. Life and time were moving rapidly without my consent. And we'll see what happens with them in the next episode, so have a great day, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll speak with you all again soon. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, still give it a like. Basketball every Tuesday. Everything else is pretty chill. Yeah, thank you guys. Roll the outro.
There'll be girls across the nation that'll eat this up. Babe, I know that it's your soul, but could you bottle it up? Get down to the heart of it. No, it's my heart. Your shit out of your luck. Don't make me tell you again. Woo! Love, love, love.
Hey,
Love, 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 love.
I do it for love.
Love, love, love.
Do it for, yeah, do it for, do it for. I do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the money, well yes it's true. And I'm so blessed to be fulfilling my destiny. All material things could mean less to me. Only thing I ever could need is a Sarah B sample with a dope ass beat. And get the mic check, all the levels right. And if it's good then I'll be here for several nights. Cause the only thing I need is a strong supporting team.